Hey YouTube, something that's been on my mind and a concept I've thought about a lot is the idea of a buddy loadout or a rig, or mostly something you can give a friend that doesn't have anything and they're going to be ready to go for SHTF, or whatever that scenario is for you, where you need somebody to be just as equipped as you, and all that fun stuff. Um, Now, what really prompted me to build this up, and this is just all random stuff, random pouches that I had lying around, the flight vest, or I can't remember what it's exactly called, but basically just a load-bearing vest. I just had this lying around, and you can still get these for 20 to 30 bucks on eBay, and they are fully functional, and a lot of them are brand new, never been used. So highly recommend, especially if you just want something that's lying around for someone, or a spare to your own gear. But the main thing I wanted was something that fit all the needs of a Minuteman. All right, so each pouch is relatively specific to something, or general Minuteman, light infantryman loadout. So we'll start here, kind of over on the side. This would be the right side if you're wearing it, and not totally loaded out with everything that I want right now. This is just all the stuff I just kind of had lying around, and it's all going to get painted all a ranger slash OD green, except for the green and the multicam. Everything else, though, the brown, the desert, anything like that, that's gonna get painted over to match all my other stuff. Uniformity is key. If you have everyone in your team looking the same, you're gonna feel a lot better and work a lot better together. But starting out with the pouches, we got there's a little admin pouch with a Velcro patch a little bit of Velcro on the outside, and it just has pens, pencils, highlighters, markers. You could probably fit a little Write in the Rain notepad in there, or something like that, just for very small. You could probably even fit your phone in there if you need be. Next to that, tourniquet pouch, self-explanatory, right there on the front for yourself or a buddy. This little empty spot right here, it's kind of scrunched up because the vest is kind of, I don't know, if you never used one of these before, they adjust. I'll get to it in a little bit, but they just adjust a little weird. When they're stretched out, they get a little bunched up. But I'm going to put a dump pouch right here, probably a sword dump pouch, because they are vertical. They're actually very similar in size and shape to this tourniquet pouch. It makes it really convenient. A lot of your dump pouches are very square, and they take up a lot of space. But it's basically this size, and I have it on my main belt kit. I really like it. But just regular GP pouch for whatever. This pouch right here is a double mag pouch that I have converted a little bit. I cut the flaps off, and I cut a little hole in the bottom, not for what you think, but to put a tomahawk, because I'm a firm believer in an axe is probably one of the best knives you can have. Excuse me. And being a Minuteman, every Minuteman needs a Warhawk. Okay, this is a cold steel tomahawk that I've cut down. They're a little bit, you get it's a little bit longer, but I cut this, I think it's down to 17 inches. That's the length of the tomahawk in the Patriot, so got to mimic that. And then, you know, stain the wood a little bit differently. Took a lot of the black crap off and actually gave it kind of this worn finish. It ended up being really nice. And burnt the cross in, of course. But yes, this pouch is specifically for a tomahawk, which I'm going to get another one. Moving on down, you know, this empty spot is just going to be canteen. You know, when you're a Minuteman or patrolling, the name of the game is sustainment, because you really can't expect to be resupplied with anything unless you have some sort of logistical supply route, and that's cool, that's great, but that's probably not a whole lot of people. So you need to be able to carry as much water on you as possible to make sure you can stay out there in the fight for as long as you can. So that's just gonna be a regular canteen pouch. IFAC on the back, where I'm not a big fan of the buckle, but pull this guy out, bada bing, bada boom. You can put your contents and all that stuff. Again, another canteen pouch. Nothing super special there. It was a GP pouch, but on the sides here, I would probably have some purification tabs. Probably have a blue bandana for filtration. On the other one, I would probably find something to put in the other two little pouches, but that's just, or I would probably leave them, or I would just leave them empty and just they will get filled in time. But moving on down, .200 round saw mag pouch that can hold AR or AK mags. It can hold 6 AR mags comfortably. It can fit 5 AK mags. Actually, I think I've fit 6 AK mags in here, especially if you have the steel ones. They're generally, or the Bulgarian ones, they're a little bit thinner. You know, when it comes to your Skittle dispensers. If you have the mag-pulled Skittle dispensers for AR or AK, yeah, they're just a little bit thicker, okay? But if you got steel, that's what I would go with for your AR or your AK. Steel mags, they're gonna last. They may, and you know. But moving on, this next pouch is radio pouch. Again, a repurposed double AR mag pouch, just with the flap cut here, and that will hold a Baofeng with an extended battery really well. Okay, and a button it in, boom, you got your commo right there. And the little perspective, you know, everything, whatever your kit is, it needs to be hitting the 12s. Well, I think the 12 C's of survivability, and then there are 3 extra things that I've added to it. But your 12 C's would be cutting tool, cover, combustion, compass, combat, casualty care, calories, commo, candle, conditioning, container, cordage. Not necessarily in that order, but the next 3 things you need to think about as well would be water, and that's collection, filtration, purification, and transportation. The next thing would be signaling devices, whether that's a orange bandana. I think a orange bandana is probably the easiest. It's definitely the cheapest thing you can get, or a little signaling mirror. And the last thing would be ear and eye protection. Okay, especially that, I know that eye protection is often overlooked. You know, like, oh, I got glasses, or you know, the glasses will not protect your eyes. You need something that will go around your eye socket and make sure anything really solid doesn't get in. And ear protection, you know, self-explanatory. You need to keep your ears, okay? But continuing on, let's see what else we got here. And 6 mags is pretty standard. It should be the minimum for your Minuteman or your patrolman. Got your radio, and on the end here, another mag pouch is an STAC for your fast mag. And no matter what your gear, I'm a big proponent of having a place where you can quickly access a magazine without doing that. Just having one right there, just in case. Okay, then keeping the majority of your mags stored away where you can run, jump, slide, fall down, they're not going to come out. Okay, this guy falls out, whatever. And really with these STAC ones, the Kydex insert is pretty tight in there. Especially if you're using a mag pull Skittle dispenser, it's just going to be a little bit thicker. And I think you could also force a thinner AK Skittle dispenser in there as well. You could probably fit a mag pull one if you really forced it in there, and then it definitely wouldn't come out. But here, this would be a place for a high lumen flashlight. Something that's relatively simple, something that's just a simple on-off. None of the oh, you got to get to the third click to get to the brightest setting. No, just something you boom, click, you're good to go. Something that is high enough to burn someone's retinas, so hopefully over 400 lumens. And hopefully it's of a decent quality so it doesn't, explode. Also, a little place where you can put patches. I just put the Baby Yoda pouch Baby Yoda patch, just because everyone likes Baby Yoda. Keep in mind, whenever you're making your Minuteman gear, you want to make it to where it looks like a friendly combatant, not a unfriendly combatant. So I know a lot of people are into surplus camouflage, Flectarn. I mean, even this is Digiflora, so that's what the Russians use. I love it. It's a great camouflage, but you still want to look friendly, as in someone that that common American sees in a movie, like, oh, good guy. And whenever I mean by that, I mean this color camouflage, basically woodland. Woodland is really synonymous with United States military, and you really want to get that across to someone in an SHTF scenario. You don't want to scare people away. I know it's cool to go all full operator, but as a Minuteman, your goal is to help people, not necessarily looks. You definitely you want to look cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to fully negate that. Looking cool is incredibly important, but you want to look cool, but also look friendly at the same time. So keep that in mind, and a few other things you can add to this. So we talked, sustainment, magazines, water. How do you do that? Well, it's a very cheap option would be something like this, where you really can't. The one disadvantage, you cannot fit 2 mag pull Skittle dispensers in here very well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another punch hole, or add another one of these things a little bit closer to the end of the tab. That way it fits all manner of AR Skittle dispensers. Because even though it is nice to have a little bit of versatility to go over to an AK platform, or say something in like a 308 platform, your best bet is just sticking with an AR. I don't hop on like an AR bandwagon or anything, but from a very, I would say, a logistical sense and a resupply sense, you're just way better off. You're more likely going to find that lying around than anything. Especially being here in the United States, when there's like just a ridiculous amount of AR parts, ammunition, fully made, just the whole lot. you're going to find that stuff easily. And this can hold 6 mags. Okay, keep that in mind. This is an easy way and cheap. I think you can get, I think I got 2 of these on eBay for 20 bucks. Free shipping, because people want to get rid of this ACU. And this is also going to get painted a Ranger green to match all my other stuff. And you can also use this for other things as well. You can put tourniquets, you can put medical stuff. The sky is the limit. You can even put commo, extra batteries, whatever. Okay, but keep in mind, you want to have stuff, a whole set, basically a box of all this stuff where, like, hey John from work, SHTF has happened. Here you go. We've talked about this. We've gone and shot guns at the range before. You know, you're relatively prepared, but you don't have the stuff. Well, here's the stuff, okay? And whenever you have the stuff, you need to be able to resupply that stuff. Otherwise, you're kind of useless. Okay, so keep that in mind. So, good way to carry ammo, medical stuff, what have you. You can fit water in there as well, but I would use it for ammo, for Skittle dispensers. What else? Oh, yes. Some sort of backpack, assault pack specifically, with a lot of molly that will allow you the user to really custom fit it to whatever that particular mission set is, or SHTF scenario. You know, if it's a just say your more likely scenario, a natural disaster of some sort, you know, me being in the mountains or close to the mountains, you know, big snowstorms do happen, and they can't happen up until May, you know, but I've also, you know, growing up had bad storms where power has gone out for days on, you know, at my house for days on end, because I was in the country. You know, there was power in town, luckily. But if there had been no power in town, say, you know, more than 3 days, people would start dying, and people that were, you know, not dying, say the old people, everyone else be freaking pissed off, you know. So keep that in mind. You got to have resupply the stuff and be able to adapt to whatever the scenario is. You know, this in this Philby, I think it's a Philby assault pack, is absolutely perfect for that scenario, where lots of molly, very versatile. I like that it's got this open area back here to have some nice airflow, and you're moving around a lot. It does look like you could put some things in here. I don't know what you would want to put in there, honestly. I wouldn't put anything. But also with these military packs, I don't think people realize that if you need to be able to get out of your bag, you need to be able to get out of your bag, okay? You don't want to get caught on something and break your back or your neck. Okay, so whatever your gear is, make sure you can get it off. That's like dying on the toilet. Not a good way to go. Not a cool way to go. If you're gonna die, you gotta die in a cool way. Go out with your boots on, as I like to say. But yeah, exactly. Jokes aside, make sure you can be able to get out of your stuff. You know, like with this Philby, or sorry, not the flight vest, it's just 2 buckles. I wouldn't dick around with the zipper. The zipper sucks. I honestly, it's not easy. So just those 2 buckles, click, click, you're out. Honestly, 2 clicks here, you're out of your gear. Okay, and you're running. Where if you got to drop everything, you got to drop everything. As unfortunate as that might be, if you got to do it, you got to do it. And you got to be able to do it quickly. You know, you don't want to be, okay, I got to take this strap, move this, unbuckle this. No, just click, click. That's all you want. But this has also become a catch-all for all my secondhand gear. So that buddy has some decent quality stuff. You know, obviously not spending a whole lot of money, a lot of just hand-me-down stuff for my primary gear. But as I upgrade my primary stuff, it will go into this. That way, it's not just floating around. Organization is key whenever you're dealing with, say, like the 12 C's. Well, that's 12 different kinds of things, and there's a multitude of items that fit within each one. And, you know, items cross over as well. So organization is key. All right, you cannot be unorganized. I get it. You might have been that kid that just threw all their papers in their bag in their lockers in middle school and could barely get it open or closed. Yeah, sorry. I don't think you're probably not doing super hot right now either in life, but that's okay. There's always time to change. Always time to better yourself. But yeah, that's the bag. That is really all the additional supplementation. You really couldn't fit a chest rig. I wouldn't want to fit a chest rig with this. You also noticed there's no place for a pistol. I guess there is place for a pistol because you can always make room for a pistol. But reason being, the idea of this buddy loadout is that just focus on just a rifle. Okay, just one system. Okay, don't complicate things. And honestly, I've never been in the military or seen combat or anything like that. But there are not very many people, at least from I've heard, that use a pistol a whole lot in a combat scenario. You know, not that it doesn't have purpose. You know, if I was going into combat, you bet your ass I would have a pistol. I'd probably have 2 or 3, to be totally honest. But if you're just giving someone something, you know, they don't have anything. It's SHTF, all right? Their house is burned down. They barely make it to your place. Give them this. Okay, this can be used, and also it could not just rifles. This can be used for a shotgun as well. Okay, the 7-round, the shotgun cards do fit in the STAC mag pouches really well, especially the 7.62 ones. But they can still fit in the 5.56. You just gotta squeeze kind of hard. And also, you know, you can fit a crap ton in there. You know, I will say shotgun and SHTF is a good supplementing rifle, or sorry, long gun. Probably not a good primary. You know, if you've got a few people with a few rifles and one guy with a shotgun, that's some good versatility. But other than that, your shotgun should just stay by the toilet, stay by your bedside. You know, use it to blast varmints, but it really shouldn't be relied on in a primary sense. Really, that's only going to supplement you, and honestly, probably not for self-defense for a lot of people. You know, I don't know too many. Excuse me. I don't know too many people that can run and gun with a 12 gauge super well. You know, just 5.56, gonna be good to go. But that is pretty much everything with this, and this is just the first version. When I say that, like 1.0, this isn't completed, obviously, definitely not loaded out to where I want it quite yet, but I'll keep everybody updated on as I go through it with 1.1, 1.2, and so on and so forth, as I add gear to it and actually turn it into something other than just a kind of an empty rig, you know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.